What's up, guys? So my last test was the Nitto tire test. We did pick up a little bit of performance with the Nitto tire from a roll, and I was able to get in my first dig, quarter mile, whatever dig. And I was pretty impressed in the weather with the car going, you know, mid-11s at 125. So this video is going to be short and sweet. We installed the cornerstone race pipes, saved like 13 or 14 pounds. The car is very loud, as you're about to see. I am en route to Mexico, and we're going to be making our first hits with the race pipes. Now, I will do a follow-up on this about my opinion of the cornerstone race pipes. You know, do I suggest them? I guess it just depends on the gains and everything. I didn't have a very good experience with the pipes themselves. They weren't very expensive, but the fact that I had to, you know, spend hours just to get them to work right kind of pissed me off. But anyways, so let's go ahead and get these results in. I don't expect to gain a damn thing, to be honest, on a stock car. I did lower the tire pressures down to 18.5 in the Nitto R2 drag radials, the stock size replacement, in hopes of maybe hooking a little bit better. What I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna sit and try, you know, I'm not gonna go out here and try to do a bunch of, you know, 60 to 130s and all that, and then do dig quarter miles. I'm just gonna go straight to doing quarter mile stuff, you know, and even if I don't have any luck, I'm gonna post whatever the results are, right? So I'm about 5 minutes away from there, so we'll be back on soon to talk about the results. Here we go. All right, this might get tight. This might get tight to fit this one in, but I'm gonna try it. So let's see what happens right here. All right, I'm gonna set this down. So we got our first hit in with the cornerstone race pipes on the car. We did not see any gains, but I am not happy with the pass. I'm not gonna go out there and hunt and try to get a best. I'm just gonna stop with that first pass. We'll put that in the video. The first pass was an 1181 at 123.83. The car spun a lot more than it usually does. I had to pedal it and stuff. The 60 foot was a 2.12. Moral of the story here is there was 0 gains. Now, the density altitude is 2,000 feet, so the DA is worse. The temperature is significantly higher, I believe, than my 1155 pass. So it's really hard. I mean, we can't do apples to apples with this type of work anyways, or it's very difficult to, but I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna get out there when it's a little cooler, when I have time to focus. I mean, I was really rushed. I had to sit on the side and wait for an open spot to make the hit. And I'm just not happy with it, okay? So again, I'll put it in there. We'll put that in the video as officially pass number 1. 11.8 at almost 124. Very, very, very bad humidity out. It's like almost 100%, literally. 90-something% humidity. It's only 85 degrees. Now, again, like we've talked about a lot, the elevation here is only like 60 feet. And when you have an elevation that high, but your DA is 2,000, think about how nasty that is. You know, DA isn't DA, like I always say. If you're at 2,000 feet and it's 2,000 DA, then that's a badass 2,000 DA. We're at a miserable 2,000 DA. So I'm gonna recoup, and I'm gonna make some clean hits. I don't know if it'll be tonight or tomorrow. But I want some good comparisons here. I want to cut a similar 60 foot. I want to try a couple times like I did on the 1150 passes, and I want to get some good results. If anything, on that first pass, you guys got to hear how damn loud this race pipe setup is. It's pretty loud. So we'll see you next time. I'm hoping for some 1140s maybe.
8 hours later.
All right, here we are on the way home from work. I've been driving for about 30 minutes, and I'm about to get to a spot that I want to just let this thing rip. I'm not going to stop and try to battle with doing digs. I'm going to do rolling starts. My intake temps are up over 130 right now, but I'm sitting at a light. It's 90 something degrees and like 2500 DA. But what I want to do is I want to get going on this nice little stretch, and I want to start in third as close to 60 as possible. And I just want to let it do its thing and go. You know, fighting, trying to find the right spot for the dig, and then fighting traction and shifts that are off. I just want to see what this thing will do in the heat right now. Half a tank of fuel. It's basically stock with the cat delete on there, like it was this morning. And I just want to see, because after I made that pull this morning, looking at that 60 to 130, I was like, man, that's pretty bad, because I don't even think the DA was over 2,000. It was close to 2,000. And I just think that this car should be faster than that. So let's see what this thing does. Just cruising, starting with intake temps, probably it's at 129 now, so probably 124, 125. And let's see, I would love to duplicate our best thus far, because I think that means if I can get out at night in 17 or 1600 DA, that I can really get this thing to show some nice promising results with the race pipe. So let's see what it can do from a roll. All right, it looks like we're gonna start about 123 intake temps when we get to third. Here we go.
60.
All right, looks like we almost matched our best, about a tenth away, and the weather is horrible. All right, guys, so it is 9:22 p.m. and you just saw this morning I made a quarter-mile attempt. It was like an 11.8 at 123, almost 124. The 60 to 130 in that run was, I think, 890 something, barely in the eights. So today on the way back home from work, I went ahead and made one 60 to 130 pull, and it was an 878. I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about my last 878. And then when I'm done doing this, I'm going to go out and make one hit, 60 to 130. And if I'm happy with it, I might go ahead and search for some spots to do some dig runs. It's going to be hard. I think the further that I go with this Nitto tire, you know, I feel like it's kind of fluky, because I'll be able to make like two really clean hits, and then all of a sudden I'm 3 or 4 tenths off. And as you guys probably know, when you're dealing with especially a stock tuned car, any type of wheel speed, it changes all the shift points, and it just throws the whole run off. And so I'm doing this for data. I'm not doing it to set records or be a superstar. I just want to mod the car and share with people what I'm doing along the way. I'm not trying to hit home runs every time. I'm just doing this to test things to see if they're worth it. I don't think the cat delete is going to be worth it. I can tell you this though, if I go out and run better than an 8.5, then I would say it's worth it, but I just don't see that happening. So let me get to these two results. That last 878 that you just saw, I'm going to compare that to the one before the cat delete. Okay. So a little while back, I went at 878, 4 or 5 runs ago, and the DA was 1,629 feet, and the temperature was 78 degrees, okay? And it was a valid pull. The slope was 0.42, super clean run, same spots that I always use. Now let's go to, again, the density altitude was 1,629, and the temperature was 78 degrees on the Dragy device. with a slope of 0.42% negative. Now let me go to the 878 I ran on my way home, which was not like that last pass. These passes, like the one I'm about to do, is letting the car cool off, going out and making a cold hit, okay? So the pass I made earlier after 30 minutes of driving was an 878 also. It was a little bit more slope, not much. It was a negative 0.60%. The density altitude, though, was 2,273, and the temperature was 88 degrees. So it was 10 degrees higher. Density altitude was 600 to 700 feet higher, and I was driving for 30 minutes. And I think if you look at the video, the intake temps got to like 134, 135 up top before the pull finished. So who knows? This pass right now in, low 80 degrees, high 70s, whatever it is. As a matter of fact, let me look and see. I'm not going to bother you guys with that. You're going to see, I'm going to make the pull right now. I'm going to start in third at like 56, and then I'm going to hit it to get that momentum. I'm going to let it do its shifting in manual mode, and let's see what happens. 871. All right, so I just went to 871. I just put this thing back into track mode for the transmission for my next pass I'm about to make. I'm looking for a smoking gun. I just think there's something I'm missing. Hold on, let me flip this around and I'll explain. So now that I have started using the paddle shifters to start in the gear, I'm letting the transmission shift by itself, but I'm starting, it's basically in like manual mode, but it's like soft paddle mode. So what that's doing is it seems to be getting more RPM out of the shift, but it's shifting very aggressive. So 2 videos ago, when you saw during the daytime, you saw the big jerk like this. I've noticed that starting in paddle mode gets more RPM, but it's also a harsher shift. So I just have this weird thing. I'm gonna put it in track mode real quick on the trans and see if that makes any difference. We just went at 871. I don't think I'm gonna get the 850s in this air, and I'm probably not gonna do a dig run. I don't know. I might end this video with a dig run. But I'm going to do one more 60 to 130 starting in third, and then keep it in track mode and see what happens. So just all normal mode here, and then I'm going to try to leave in second. So let's see what it does. I'm curious to see what happens here. Stop. All right. Second gear. Come on. Launch control. This thing's not working at all. Okay. All right. That was crazy, but whatever. 1142. Go to second.